Welcome to claude-code News. Version 2.1.81 is here, and it's a big one. A brand new headless mode for clean CI pipelines, mobile-based tool approvals over channels, and a mountain of bug fixes covering voice mode, OAuth sessions, Windows, and more. Let's get into it. If you're running Claude non-interactively in CI or automation scripts, the new bear flag is exactly what you've been waiting for. Pass it alongside the P flag, and Claude strips out everything you don't need in a headless context. Hooks, LSP, plugin sync, and skill directory walks are all skipped. The result is a leaner, faster execution environment. There's one important constraint. Bear mode requires an Anthropic API key environment variable or an API key helper provided via settings. OAuth and keychain authentication are both disabled in this mode, and auto memory is fully off. Think of it as a clean, predictable runtime, purpose-built for scripts and pipelines. The second headline feature is the new channel's permission relay. When you're running Claude and a tool call needs your approval, that prompt can now be forwarded to your phone, as long as your channel server declares the permission capability. This is a game changer for anyone running longer agentic tasks in the background. Instead of babysitting your terminal waiting for an approval prompt, you can greenlight tool calls from wherever you are. There's also a bug fix bundled here. The channel's bypass that was incorrectly skipping permissions for team and enterprise orgs with no other managed settings configured has been patched. Here's a fix that anyone running multiple Claude code sessions simultaneously will appreciate. Previously, when one session refreshed its OAuth token, the other open sessions would detect the change and prompt you to re-authenticate over and over. That's now resolved. Token refreshes in one session no longer cause repeated authentication demands in your other sessions, so your parallel workflows stay uninterrupted. Voice mode received some much-needed reliability work. Two separate issues were patched. First, retry failures were being silently swallowed and replaced with a generic "check your network" message. Now you'll see the actual underlying error. Second, if the server silently dropped the WebSocket connection, audio would stop recovering. Both of those are now fixed. Separately, a frustrating proxy gateway issue was resolved. The claude-code disable experimental. Beta's environment variable wasn't actually suppressing the structured output's beta header, which caused 400 errors when routing through proxies to Vertex or Bedrock. That's fixed too. This release also packs in a solid set of general stability improvements. Node.js 18 users were hitting a crash. That's fixed. Bash commands with dashes and strings were incorrectly triggering permission prompts. Also fixed. Plugin hooks could block prompt submission if the plugin directory got deleted mid-session. Resolved. A race condition where background agent task output would hang indefinitely is gone. Resuming a session that was in a Git worktree now correctly switches back to that worktree. And on Windows, including WSL in Windows Terminal, line-by-line streaming has been disabled due to rendering artifacts. Plus, the Git bash path inheritance regression introduced in 2.1.78 for VS Code users has been patched. Rounding out the release, there's a collection of quality-of-life improvements. MCP read and search tool calls now collapse into a single, queried server name line in the UI. You can expand it with Ctrl+O when you need the details. Remote control sessions now derive their title from the first prompt and refresh it after your third message, and both /rename and /exit now work reliably in remote control contexts. The /btw command was fixed to correctly include pasted text during active responses. Plan mode now hides the clear context option by default to reduce clutter. You can bring it back with the show clear context on plan accept setting. And MCP OAuth has been updated to support client ID metadata document, also known as CIMD or SEP 991, for servers that don't use dynamic client registration. That's everything in claude-code version 2.1.81, headless pipelines, mobile approvals, and a ton of fixes that make daily use smoother. If this was helpful, hit subscribe to catch every release as it drops. See you next time.